They spent an evening laughing at the beach rental. He waved goodbye before dinner. She locked the door behind him. By morning, both were gone. No footprints in the sand. No signs of struggle. Just an empty plate and a locked front door. They were a young couple on holiday, Kay and Mark, excited to escape the daily grind. Their rented seaside cottage was peaceful, sun-washed, and seemingly safe. That night they prepared dinner after a long walk along the shore. They were content, smiling, unaware their world was about to collapse. Earlier, Mark had jokingly suggested, "Let's lock the door this time." Kay laughed and clicked the deadbolt. They sat at the little dining table, salty air drifting through the open window, hearing only the distant crash of waves. They cooked together, simple noodles and grilled fish. Their utensils clinked gently. They shared stories and laughter. One of them lit candles. They toasted the night. It was ordinary, happy, perfect. Until it shattered. They were never seen again. The next morning, the house sitter arrived. No one answered. The lights were on, dinner plates sat half-eaten, and the bedroom door was closed. He tried the locks, they held firm. He called out. Nothing. Inside, their belongings were untouched. Wallets, keys, driver's licenses, all still there. Even the car key hung in the kitchen, unused. Police were called. Inside the cottage, everything pointed to a peaceful evening with no indication of violence or forced removal. Outside, the sliding glass door was locked from the inside. There were no footprints leading out to the beach. Even the sand was undisturbed. The open window had only a faint breeze, no sign of forced entry. No animals, no intruders. No signs of violence. And yet they had disappeared. Detectives mapped the cottage's layout, walked every inch of sand, examined the tidal patterns, and interviewed the sitter, who hadn't seen or heard anything unusual. They looked at surveillance from nearby shops, no clues. No cars. No strangers. What about the beach? No footprints on the dunes. No blood or clothing. Nothing washed ashore. Just waves and sand, as if the couple had simply evaporated. Rumors began. Eyewitnesses reported seeing a car speeding away late that night. Others claimed to recognize a silhouette on the balcony. One witness told detectives they heard a muffled cry at 11 p.m., but they were too afraid to call the police at the time. One lead emerged months later. An abandoned sailboat washed up a dozen miles north. Law enforcement recovered it with no life vests inside, only a set of matching necklaces that belonged to Kay and Mark, but no bodies. The boat was too damaged to trace origin. Kay's family flew in, devastated. They handed out flyers, spoke to the press, pleaded for help. Mark's parents did the same. The beach rental was plastered with posters. A reward was offered. Public interest spiked, then faded. For years, investigators chased any lead. A man in a nearby town detained briefly, a scare during a drug-run bust, but none panned out. Friends wondered if they had run away, tired of life. But why lock the door? Why half-eaten dinner? Why vanish with no plan and no bodies? Suppositions turned dark, a drug-related robbery gone wrong. Human trafficking? A cult? But every theory hit a dead end. A few pieces haunted the case. the sailboat debris, that supposed cry, the locked cottage, all hints of a bizarre puzzle. But no central piece fell into place. Decades later, cold case detectives re-examined the files. They used modern tools, satellite data, AI facial recognition on old footage, even cadaver dogs on the beach. They combed social media forums for tips. A few amateur sleuths claimed they associated the necklaces with a drug smuggling syndicate operating along the coast, but law enforcement could never confirm it. Ultimately, the evidence was circumstantial. The beach became a tourist curiosity. The cottage changed hands. The dinner plates were moved, photos boxed away, conversations stopped. Kay and Mark remained ghosts, events frozen in 1997, their presence haunting the shore. Tonight, the couple's story lives on through whispered legends. Families warn their children to never wander from home. Documentaries are produced. Podcasts retell the events. A locked door stands as a monument to a mystery that may never be solved. Many believe the truth is still buried, beneath the waves, beneath the sand, or hidden in shadows no one looked into. Maybe someone knows what happened. Maybe they're alive somewhere. Maybe their half-eaten dinner was their last memory, before they vanished forever. If you have any information, no matter how small, please share it. For more bizarre disappearances and unsolved disappearances, subscribe and turn on notifications. The answers might be out there, waiting.